Hey guys, you've probably heard me talking about, and a lot of other people talking about this as well, because it's common knowledge, that if you need to change your life, then a good way to do that, and something that's really important to do, is to actually change your environment around you. And that's not just physically, that's psychologically as well. One massive hack I found was something I actually stumbled across was the sober community on Instagram. If you go on Instagram and you type in sober, sobriety, recovery, or if you go on our Instagram account at Break the Chain World Mission and you click on the people that I follow, there is like thousands and thousands of recovery groups. So if you stop following, a lot of the things that are probably really triggering and really just filling our minds with things that just aren't helpful for us recovering, aren't conducive for recovery, and you start following things that are sobriety, you just get a news feed that's coming up with things that's constantly just like tiny little pokes, just being like, recover, get sober, especially if you can't make the decision to actually stop. These little mind pokes are so helpful to actually be like, because it's like positive brainwashing more or less. Our brains have been washed. They haven't been washed, they've been dirtied in just the most terrible way from the things that we've listened to down at the pub, things that we're watching on the TV, in the movies. All these things are just conditioning our mind in such a negative way. So we actually need to brainwash ourselves, we need to wash it. And one of the ways we can do that is through, positive reinforcement through the things, especially on social media, which we spend so much time trawling through. Our minds are like tape recorders. So when we do something, we never do it once. It's not like when you pick up a drink and you have a drink, be like, I'm just going to have one drink today. Because then the next day, that thing is just still in you. It's like an echo chamber. And it's just like, boom, boom, boom. The next day, you're thinking about having a beer again. So you can have been sober for 2 years, pick up and have one drink. You're like, oh, it's just one. The next day, your mind is just going like that, and it's got you. It's got you again, because those echoes are so loud. So, and especially when we're feeling good and we get sober, and it can be any behaviour, it ain't always just drugs and alcohol or addictive behaviours, but any negative behaviour, and if we start doing this, and especially when we feel good, because when we feel good, we get really confident, like, oh, I don't need to put any effort into this now. But eventually a bad day comes along, and that what we've done in that time is so important. So in that time that we've spent feeling good, if we're filling our minds full of positive and helpful things, for me it's like a lot of my meditation stuff, I really focus on that, especially when I feel good. I'm really highly focused on that, because I know that when a bad day comes, then I've got the knowledge there, and it's like a reflex. I know what to do and have a bad day, and then I sail through them. But if I've spent all my good days, just getting wasted or watching mind-numbing things or things that aren't going to help me through those bad days, when the bad day comes, it's a really fucking bad day. So that's a hack. Go onto Instagram and just start following all these accounts so that our brains and minds are getting filled with good information.